Hey everybody, we're going to go back over some of the stuff that we just learned from the previous two videos about the skeletons that were found in the water and some other interesting stuff right here that's going to slam dunk CERN right in its pie hole. Now, this video right here about this cube that is in Antarctica made out of ice. Let us listen in real quick, and I am going to show you a few things.
To be like this crystal layer. Well, it's always depicted as this cold, like, area that's cavernous and icy.
They're talking about Superman's lair, where he's got the crystal piece right there that he can plug into the whatever it is, and it's depicted as a cold, layer and everything. And we saw in the Superman Man of Steel, remember the trident being fired down upon the water, and it was clue. There were clues in that movie. So let's continue listening.
So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do a search for Fortress of Solitude, Antarctica. And lo and behold, this picture popped up. And I kind of ran with it before I did all the research. So I didn't realize that it was an actual picture. I thought it was just a painting. And I ran to Tony and I woke him up this morning and I said, you have got to look at this because it's a depiction, and even though in actuality it's a real picture of an ice cube with a keyhole. And it kind of reminds me of pictures of the quote-unquote New Jerusalem.
Right, yeah.
So that's all. So it was my fault that we kind of ran with the whole...
Is that what the Kaaba stone is all about? You got the hole for the keyhole of the Kaaba stone? And is it really have nothing to do with what they say? I'm just throwing it out there. Let's not get away from ourselves here a second. So we have an actual picture of a ice cube with a keyhole in it in Antarctica. Now the cube is where we're going to be focusing in on. Let's talk about the cube here for a second, and let us go check out something that I just presented in the retraction video. I presented in that video about the Yukikaze. It's a Japanese anime, and yes, it talks about an alien force known as the Jam that invades Earth through a dimensional portal that appeared over Antarctica. Very interesting, right? And you see the cube that's right there in Antarctica, right? What kind of cube do you think that is? And how does CERN play into what that cube is and about this jam that's going to invade Earth and is going to appear over Antarctica? Let's take a look. This is from the movie The Avengers 2012. Take a look.
Has awakened.
The Tesseract has awakened. So you saw that, the joint dark energy. Isn't some of the stuff that the CERN is talking about is about dark matter and dark energy or antimatter? Now, without playing this movie all the way through, if you haven't seen it, The Avengers 2012 right here is all about the Tesseract Cube opening up a portal and aliens or beings from another dimension of some sort coming to do battle on the Earth. Okay? And isn't that exactly what the story of Yukikaze? Isn't that the exact same story? So how does CERN fit into all this? Well, what we have to do now is we have to take a look at the new Avengers movie. Yes, the Ultron Avengers movie, so we can get an idea whether the truth about those skeletons being at the Hoover Dam is actually the truth, what they said. Did those people really put it there, or was it put there for another reason? Now, I do have the movie Age of Ultron, but I'm only going to show you this right here, so in case you haven't seen it and you don't want to be alerted to what goes on in the movie, I'm not going to play it for you. But in the Avengers Age of Ultron, the new movie that just came out 2015, the Avengers must work together to defeat Ultron, a robotic artificial intelligence bent on human extinction, right? Interestingly enough, in the Wii game about Hoover Dam, Ben 10, Protector of Earth, Part 4, there is this robotic artificial intelligence being that he is doing battle with. And if you watch,
Heróis não devem sentir dor.
it's in, I think he's speaking German or
Posso
Spanish.
escolher aqui.
I don't know, I can't tell.
Truquezinho sujo.
So haven't we been seeing a lot of videos made about Hoover Dam and about the infinity, about the number 88? We have, haven't we? And is it just coincidence that these people put these skeletons with this placard with this date at the Hoover Dam at Lake Havasu? I don't think so. I think they're actually telling you something. And we're going to now take a look at, after you just looked at that cube that's in Antarctica, you saw the mention in Yakukazi about the portal opening up over Antarctica, and these whoever the jam is going to be waging war on the Earth. Now let's take a look at the Tesseract itself. You saw Tesseract mentioned in the movie The Avengers, right? Let's take a look here. Now, in the Marvel movies and Marvel comics, the Tesseract is an Infinity Stone. Yes, infinity, the number 8. Just like we've been talking about infinity or the number 8 being associated with something having to do with the Hoover Dam and possibly its destruction to release something. But as you can see, it's Infinity Stone of unparalleled power that is owned by Odin. It is now stored in Asgard. The cube is based on the cosmic cube in the Marvel Comics continuity. Continuity, a government type of thing, maybe? I don't know. But is now stored in Asgard. Could Asgard be something having to do with Antarctica, just like Tartarus? Possible. Now, for some reason, they have named a range in Antarctica after Asgard, called the Asgard Range. Yes, we've just seen a cube up on top in a picture. That was a real picture taken, not a painting, but a real picture of a cube up on top on a ice cap there in Antarctica. You see that from the movies, they tell you that Asgard is where the Tesseract cube is being held, Odin's cube. In the movie Avengers, you see that they use the Tesseract to open up a portal for these interdimensional or outer dimensional beings to come through and wage war with the Earth. Just like Yakukazi, just like the story there. The Jam. Remember the video I showed you from 1991 about the Stand by the Jams, Justified Ancients of Mu. Are they really the titans of Tartarus? Tartarus being in Antarctica. I do believe that's the case. I believe all of these gods are all one and the same from different locations. The Norse gods are exact same as the ones you would find in Sumeria, or the Babylonian, or the South American, or Central American. I believe they're all one and the same. It's just like you see with Odin is supposed to be a one-eyed god. You know, does that have anything to do with the all-seeing eye? Supposedly Horus, remember, he lost an eye in battle when he did battle with Set. So I do believe that they're all interwoven and interchangeable as far as gods go, but just go by different names, the names of the people that gave them. So, okay, let us take a look now at CERN and the Tesseract. So in all actuality, Tesseract, the 8-cell 4-cube, in geometry, the Tesseract is the 4-dimensional analog of the cube. The Tesseract is to the cube as the cube is to the square. Just as the surface of the cube consists of 6 square faces, the hypersurface of the Tesseract consists of 8 cubical cells. There's that number. The infinity number again, the Tesseract is one of the 6 convex regular 4 polytopes. Now, let us take a look at CERN. This was from APS Physics, and it's from journalsaps.org, and this was about some of the stuff relating to CERN: particles, fields, gravitation, and cosmology. And in this article right here, it was called Fermion Mutilation on a Bodied Centered Tesseract. We construct a chiral Lagrangian, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, on a body-centered four-dimensional hypercubic lattice. A form of fermion doubling is observed in the continuum limit. Continuum? We understand that that is also could be the same as infinity, right? Continuum is continuously continued. Whatever, you know what I mean. However, because some of the spurious excitations do not propagate as particles, the resulting continuum field theory is not Lorentz invariant. Hell if I know what all that means, and it doesn't really matter. It just means that, yes, something about this tesseract cube in the geometry realm is being analyzed or being utilized somehow at CERN. Is it coincidence that tesseract is being presented in these movies? You see a cube at Antarctica where, according to the movie, Asgard is in somewhere, and according to what they've named the Asgard Range in Antarctica, is Asgard where the cube would be in Antarctica. Are they going to be using the cube to CERN? Are they going to be using the cube to release something? And I do believe if you watch the movie and you watch the games, Yakukazi, the anime, and you watch the movie Avengers, you will see that they are planning on using this Tesseract cube, just like CERN's doing with this Tesseract information here, to open up a portal. And I do believe it's quite possible that the militaries all around the world are exercising right now. It never made any sense, ladies and gentlemen. The whole story about them needing to train on terrain that they're not familiar with. Hold on. Okay, if you have, like, let's say Guam, right? Let's say you have a military base in Guam, and why don't you send your military over there? They're not all familiar with that terrain. Or why not send them to an island, the Christmas Islands, or whatever? Something where you have control over, as being the United States. You know, you annex one of those islands, go to the Philippines. But for some reason, they got a whole bunch of states in their document that they don't even talk about. All they talk about is Texas. Something tells me that their story is a load of hooey. And I do believe that with everything that I showed about the date, Mrs. Christine Lagarde of IMF told us how to read that date, how to read the dates numerologically. And we come up with July 2015. Operation Jade Helm starts July 2015. All of the other military exercises that are going on around the world are duplicating the size and the type as Operation Jade Helm 15. So what are they preparing for? Do you really think all those countries are really going to participate against Russia, and Russia is just, what, they don't know it? Oh, yeah, I see what you guys are all doing right here. You know what? Hey, if you guys want to invade, I'm just going to... It's not going to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to be just like Israel. Israel has the Samson Initiative. You know what the Samson Initiative is? If they get overrun and they get invaded, they are going to shoot off all of their missiles, and they're also going to destroy their own land so you can't inhabit it. That's how they view it. If you're going to take us out, ain't no one going to get it. And we're going to take you out right along with it. You ever heard of that initiative? Why wouldn't Russia do the same thing if they saw all of those countries, and we're talking about dozens of them, training to go at war with Russia? Do you really believe that? I think you better take another look. And I think that you're going to find that something even more sinister is about ready to come. And it's all centered around CERN, the Tesseract Cube, and what we just found having to do with the dam, Hoover Dam. So, all right, I'll leave you with that, and hopefully I didn't run this on too long.